Hello everyone. I don't do videos like this at all, where I just talk about a certain subject, but I need to explain something right now. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Nintendo Switch 2, and yes, I know I've been talking about it a little bit in my recent Mario Galaxy 2 videos, but it's more complicated than that. There's a lot that I need to explain, because I feel like this isn't as bad as people make it out to be. Now, Nintendo is a bad company. I cannot deny that. They are overpricing everything. Virtual game cards shouldn't exist. The game key cards shouldn't exist. Things are too expensive. Yes. I am not saying that they're a perfect company. They are far from it. But here's the thing. Switch 2 price, I think, is actually pretty fair. Now, hear me out. The Switch 1 was $300, and it's really, like, it was the strongest Nintendo console at the time. But now that the Switch 2 came out, you can see that it's a pretty bad downgrade compared to the Switch 2. And the Switch 2 has 4K output, faster loading, like it has everything you want for only $150 more. And in today's economy, consoles are really, really expensive. Like PS5 $500, PS5 Pro $700, Xbox $650. So this is technically the cheapest really good console you could get. And if you wanted to play Mario Kart World, instead of paying the very greedy $80, you can just buy the bundle and you'll save $30 and just pay $500. That seems pretty decent. It could be cheaper, yes, but it's actually not that bad when you think about it. Also, the hardware itself seems really, really good. The Pro Controller I have heard is really buttery smooth. People are saying that it's the best controller Nintendo ever made. The Joy-Cons look really good and comfortable, compared to the Switch 1 at least. The games they're releasing, it was very lackluster the past couple of months, but next year they're making great content. You know, like Super Mario Bros. Wonder DLC, they're making Super Mario 64 DLC. Like, they're gonna release good things for the Switch too. Not to mention the 120 FPS out, um, I forgot the word, but 120 FPS. I know it's not for all games, but at least it's technically there, and even there, you can do 4K 60 frames, so it's still the best of both worlds. The prices, I will agree, are really bad. You should not be paying $90 for a Pro controller. Like, I know it has back buttons on it, but like, that's all it is. Now, granted, it is cheaper than other Pro controllers, like the DualSense Edge for the PS5. That's over 200. But I mean, come on, really? I'm pretty sure the Pro controller for the Switch 1 was 60. See, I am fine paying 60 to 70 for a controller, but like, seriously? 90? And not to mention, it went up too. It was at 85 and now it's at 90. But even then, it's not as bad compared to other Pro controllers or other consoles. The UI has not changed at all. It's still the same UI, just with curves on the icons. The game chat feature, I mean, I haven't really seen it much, so I wouldn't really have an input on that, but it is cool that you can do game chat. Um, and then the game key cards, again, those I don't really care because they're just for third party titles. Like, they're literally for third party titles, and I mean, if you're gonna play something like Elden Ring, you might as well just play it on your computer or PS5 or something. Because even then, Elden Ring is not gonna perform at the best performance as a computer or PS5. You might as well just buy it on those. And, what else? The Joy-Cons being $100, that's crap. They should be way cheaper than that. I am not willing to pay more than 60 or 70 for a controller or game. For a game, usually I will go for 60. 70, and especially 80, that's crap. We need those prices lowered at least to 60. Um, and then the virtual game cards. Now, I know people are not happy about this one. And I definitely understand why. But, I mean, okay, so Basically, the way it works is that you take your game, your virtual game card, and then you transfer it from one console to the other console. You can't have your game on both consoles at once if you have a Switch 2. That is annoying, yes, but at the same time, are you really going to use your Switch 1 when you have a Switch 2? Like, think about it. You get a Switch 2 for the better hardware, better graphics, better screen, more comfortable controllers. Are you really going to switch back to Switch 1 after you transfer everything to your Switch 2? I don't think so. Like, you're literally going to transfer all your data to the Switch 2. All your games, all your progress in your games, your users, your accounts, they all get transferred to the Switch 2. So it's really not that bad. I guess if you have two Nintendo Switch 2s, it can be annoying, but even then, I it's not as bad as people really make it out to be. So yeah, I don't really have a problem with that. Um, so the most recent Nintendo Direct, people were crapping on it like crazy because they weren't really delivering as much, and people were saying time to sell my Switch 2, worst Direct ever. Was it really though? Because think about it. We got a Mario Galaxy movie next year, and I'm pretty sure the trailer's gonna come out within a few weeks. We got Mario Galaxy 2 on the Switch, and if you're on Switch 2, you can do 4K output. And then we got Mario Bros. Wonder DLC that looks pretty good. There are some things that were lackluster in there, and they definitely could have done better. I'm not saying it was a perfect direct. But what really confused me was the people that were saying time to sell my Switch 2. I'm sorry, you're gonna sell your much upgraded console that you bought and transferred everything to because of a direct. If you don't like the direct, then don't buy the things that are in the direct. You don't need to sell your console. Like, you're telling me you would rather sell your console with better hardware and faster loading and go to a console with much worse hardware and unbearable loading compared to the Switch 2. Like, I don't understand people that say this stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I was pissed at Nintendo too, like a month ago. And I'm still kind of pissed at them because of what they're doing with, like, prices and stuff. But, like, when you really take in consideration with, like, PS5 and Xbox, the Switch 2 really isn't that bad. They are scummy for a lot of their prices and anti consumer stuff, but, like, no one is perfect. Nothing is perfect. And I think the Switch 2 is actually worth it, and I actually do want it. I do want to make the Switch. I want the better output. I want the better games. Mario Kart World, about that game. So, $80, unacceptable. That game I know is not worth 80. It should be 60, maybe 70 max, but 60 is the standard. And really, I mean, it looks like a fun game, but then at the same time, you're doing intermissions like crazy. I will say, this one thing definitely makes Nintendo scummy as all hell. Online, when the game first released, you had three intermissions, which is just driving from track to track, so a straight line for like 2 minutes, and then one lap of that track that you selected. Or you could select random, so you could get um, a 3 lap track, like the older Mario Kart, where you just go around a racetrack 3 times. The community understood, and everyone voted random, and everyone loved the game. But then on June 25th, they made an update where they made it so random could select intermissions. That was definitely a terrible update, and I am glad I was not there for it. That was a horrible decision, and people stopped playing Mario Kart World at that time. And I'm sure the sales are still plummeting. But at the same time, Mario Kart World does look pretty fun, minus the intermissions. And I heard that if you don't want to do any intermissions at all, you could just play verses because it's all 3 lap tracks. So if you don't want to do intermissions, just put 4 races into verses and bam, it's basically a Grand Prix. So if I don't like them, then I'll just play verses. I don't think I really have that much to say. I mean, I'm sure I'll think of more. I'm sure I forgot some of it, but Nintendo is a scummy company. This is not the company that we used to have. There is a lot that they need to fix, but they just won't. They won't fix anything. They are releasing good games. They are not providing good, like, anti-consumer, like, communication, pretty much. Anyways, yeah. Switch 2 definitely seems worth it. And I'm sure a lot of you will be mad at me in the comments, but I just gotta be honest. Anyways, I have a video releasing tomorrow. I made a post on it, so go check out my community post if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And let me know your guys' thoughts on the Switch 2.